In this video, everything you need to know when going on holiday to Puerto de Alcudia. If you haven't booked yet, this is also a great way to see if Puerto de Alcudia is actually the right holiday destination for you or not. Also in this video, some easy tips that will make your holiday even better, some tips that will save you loads of money, and as well as some things to watch out for. So how is the beach in Alcudia? Well, it's a very large sandy beach that is ideal for families, even with small children, as there are few waves and the water is mostly very shallow. There is not much to see here if you want to snorkel, but there is a wide variety of water sports available. The beach gets nicer the more you get away from the harbor and towards Playa de Muro, where there are normally less people and the water is also more clear. Alcudia and Puerto de Alcudia, they have loads of great hotels. They have really a big selection. Each time I go to Mallorca, I try to visit many of them to see what is really going on there, especially the new ones and the ones with the higher reviews online, because quite often what you find on the internet, in 1 in 3 cases, what you see on the internet really ain't the way it is in real life. And before I advise any of these hotels to my people who are viewing this, I want to know for sure that what is there is really there. So in a summary, a quick summary, if you're looking for great value for money, I don't mean cheap. By the way, all these hotels you're seeing now, they are not all of them in Puerto de Alcudia, but they are all over Mallorca and they all offer great value for money. If you're looking for great value for money in Alcudia, Puerto de Alcudia, I can definitely advise Viva Tropic, Vanity Golf, Hotel Alcudia Majorca, Condesa de la Bahia, Group Hotel Maritimo, Astoria Playa, and the Sea Club as well, and the Viva Sunrise as well. So all of these hotels, not necessarily cheap, but all offer great value for money. If you're not sure which one of these hotels is right for you, or if you want my second opinion on one of the hotels, kind of you've already pre-selected before booking it, you can always get in contact with me through my website, or you can email me directly on this email address. I always try to reply within 24 hours, but quite often while I'm traveling and filming, I cannot. And also recently I've been getting so many requests, it sometimes takes me a little bit longer. This is a completely free service I give to you, so please have a little bit of patience. I will get back to you always. In the night there are some clubs that open near the Bananas roundabout, or the Burger King roundabout. That is most popular clubbing area. If you just want to chill, there is also some beach clubs, and you will find pubs and bars spread over the entire area of Puerto de Alcudia. So Alcudia is about, with taxi or with car, about an hour away from the airport in Mallorca. So do keep this in mind, that you make arrangements before traveling to Mallorca. I have a different video where I discuss all the pros and the cons of all the different methods there are, and there you can figure out what is the best way for you. It depends on if you're traveling with small children or if you're traveling alone or with a lot of people. So have a look at that other video if you're traveling to Alcudia from the airport in Mallorca. So first of all, I want to say that Mallorca is a really nice place. I don't want to sound too negative. However, I think there is 3 important things I do want to give you a little bit of a warning about, because I've heard from a lot of people and also from my own experience that they had negative experiences with these simply because they didn't know. So in this part, 3 quick warnings. If you find a flyer on the street offering some kind of excursions, or you're handed by someone a flyer in the street, then do not go on these kind of excursions. There's always some kind of unpleasant catch, no matter how good the deal may sound. The most common is that you will have to go to some kind of sales presentation where they will sell you all kinds of random products. This can also be about timeshare, or sometimes you just have to wait for a long time at some kind of overpriced restaurant in the middle of nowhere where you will have to spend your money. On number 2, this is about the illegal sales that are happening on the beaches and in the streets of Mallorca. Since from now on you yourself can be fined anywhere from 100 to 750 euros if you buy anything from them, or if you take one of the massages or do the hair braiding, selling fruits or drinks on the beach. Any of these, if you partake in them, you can be fined up to 750 euros. This is a new law since July 2018 to combat these things that have been really getting out of hand and have been getting a lot lot of complaints by many of the tourists coming to Mallorca. Since finding the people doing so far has proven little successful, now the government has been deciding to do it for both the people buying and the people selling. So be aware, you can get a huge fine if you partake in any of these activities. Number 3, this is about car rental. Most of the time now when you rent a car or you reserve it online for a certain price, the price will go way up, simply because if you arrive in the airport or you go to the car rental offices, the people there, they will try and kind of like confuse you and tell you you need this and this and this, but it's just kind of like practices to get you to buy more things. I covered this in a different video. Also on my website you can find the companies that I use when I'm traveling, so you can have a good and smooth experience without any of this upselling problems. So I just quickly want to repeat, Mallorca is a nice place. Don't be put off by these tips I've given you. They are just there to warn you. Now you've been informed, you can have a great holiday on Mallorca. So the next one is a little bit of a cheeky tip, however it is a good one. Most of the information out there is meant to sell you a specific hotel or destination. Everything always looks very perfect. If you want real information, real good holiday information that is made with your perfect holiday in mind, then do know that you can subscribe to my channel and you will easily find all the videos I have covering Mallorca. That's about 100 of them, but also hundreds more covering other destinations in Spain and in Europe. So if you want all that information even more easy, click the subscribe button. Puerto de Alcudia has many restaurants spread all over the area, but mostly in 2 separate areas. The area near the port, that is more the upscale and pricey restaurants that are more typically Spanish, while the area on the greasy mile, as it is called, has more budget restaurants, Chinese buffets, and your typical English food places and bars. In the town of Alcudia, a small walk or a taxi ride away, you will also find many restaurants on the main town square. This used to be the place to get the real typical Spanish dishes, but in the last few years has become a little bit more touristy. This is either a good or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Also a quick tip, and I can really advise this place. I love it here, been here many times. Great service, friendly people, great Indian cuisine. The Maharaj restaurant near the Bellevue and the Viva Sunrise, been here many times, absolutely brilliant. So should you get the all-inclusive or the half-board? Well, this really depends a lot on what exactly you want. However, one quick tip I want to give you is that most of the receptions in the hotel, you can also book this separate. So why would you want to do this? Well, one thing is, first you can try the food, kind of compared to booking it within your hotel package. If you just book the room and then go to the hotel and then try the food one night, see if it's any good, if you enjoy it, and then go to the reception and just book it there. It's also cheaper. You will get it about 20 or 30% cheaper from my experiences. And also, if you want to go a day on an excursion, you can do that. Just don't take the food for that day. Just say to the reception, I want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they will make you that package there. And also, one more important thing is if you want to eat out. This is also maybe once or twice in a holiday you want to do this in a nice restaurant nearby. It's also only an option if you do it this, and you won't be wasting any money on an all-inclusive package that covers all the days. So when is the right time for you to visit Mallorca? Well, this depends a lot on what exactly you're looking for. A lot of people think that it's warm all year round on Mallorca, and that is not the case. So in this next part, I want to give you a quick guide to when and when not to visit, so you know when to book. And if you've already booked, then this is also a great way to see what exactly to expect. In the months of January, February and March, these months in Mallorca is very popular with athletes who come to Mallorca to do exercise and to train, as there will be very few people on the island around this time, and therefore there's many empty roads for the cyclists to use. Also, the weather around this time is a bit more mild compared to many other European countries, especially Scandinavian countries. It's also for this reason that a lot of retired people come to Mallorca around this time. The accommodation is cheap, the climate is mild, but do know that a lot of hotels, bars and restaurants around this time are still closed. The first month that the weather really starts to change on Mallorca is basically April, and this is also when more hotels, bars and restaurants start to open. Much of this depends a little bit on when exactly Easter is, what month and week it falls into. Most of the time this is also not really pool or beach weather just yet, but prices outside of the Easter holidays are very cheap, so it might be worth taking a little risk. Make sure to bring some warmer clothing, especially a sweater and some long clothing, especially for in the evening. May is normally one of the first real months for Mallorca. Also, it has the better weather starting to come around, and normally all the hotels have opened at this time, especially when you look more towards the middle of May. The same also counts for all the restaurants, bars and excursions start to open at this time of year. June, July and August are the months with the best weather. If you really want the best weather and you want to spend most of the time at the beach or at the pool, then these are the best months for you. Personally, I think normally August kind of gets a little bit too hot for me, but I really think that's a personal thing and most people might disagree with me. If you are looking for the best months, price, quality, weather-wise, then June and September normally are the best. October is very much like May, but with the added benefit that the pool and seawater is already a bit warmer compared to May normally from being after the summer. But do know that the weather is quite unpredictable and it starts to cool down. Especially for the evenings, just to make sure bring a sweater and some long clothing as you might or may not need it. In November and December, there is not so many people on Mallorca. It's very much like January, February and March. It's mostly people coming here to train and to do sports, and the retired people coming to look for the more quiet and mild climate. So if you're sure that this destination is right for you, know you can get in contact with me on my email address, and there we can figure out together what is the right hotel for you. If you're not sure, then have a look at this video where I explain all the different resorts in Mallorca and you can choose there.